Welcome to Different Walks, Different Talks.
So today we're in podcast 27 with Emma Dawley. So if you want to just introduce yourself really quickly to the audience.
So like Angus said, I'm Emma. I'm one of Angus's friends from school. I think I've known you since grade 9, but we really only kind of became friends in like grade 11. I want to be a marine biologist, and I'm going to the University of Hawaii for my undergrad.
Yeah, so that is really exciting.
Yes.
I think as a kid, like that's the thing I really loved.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people loved as well. Like Callum, as he told me, like your literal plan back in grade 10. It was so funny that when I heard you got into the program, I was like, Callum, you got into your dream program, and then he just sighed and looked at me. Yeah. So I think it's kind of like how did you get into that like program? Like what pathways led you into that program?
Yeah. Okay. So when I was in I think it was like grade 6, I decided I wanted to be a marine biologist, like for sure.
Oh, grade 6.
Then I planned out my whole high school like career in grade 7, and then grade 8 I started looking at universities.
Oh, you have like a perfect
plan. I had a 10-year plan.
Back in grade 8?
Yeah, in grade 8 I knew what I wanted to do. Yeah.
What?
So I planned out all of high school so I could get there. But originally my plan was to go to Dalhousie for marine biology because it was in Canada, Nova Scotia.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's the biggest marine bio program in
That makes
Canada.
sense, Nova Scotia. Right.
Yeah. So anyway, so I planned to go to Dalhousie, and then careers in grade 10, the course that we had to take, I still planned all for Dalhousie. And then my mom said when I was in grade 11, have you looked at like schools in the States? And I didn't even like think that the States were an option because like it's so expensive.
Right.
And they said that I could go to the States if I got in and I got a scholarship somewhere. I was like, okay, whatever. Anyway, fast forward to grade 12, I'm applying to schools. I applied to Dal, I applied to like a whole bunch of others in Canada. And I waited to send in my United States applications until after the election because I'm going to spend another 4 years in the States. I don't want it to... Anyway.
To suck.
Yeah. So then we all know what happened in the election. And I was like, okay, so Florida's out, California's out. But Hawaii was still like in the picture because it was kind of like its own island. Like, it's almost like its own country.
Kind of.
It's so far removed.
The culture's way different there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So I applied. Wonderful. And then I got an email on November 14th, which is my brother and sister's birthday. Yeah.
That's 2 days before my birthday.
Really?
Yeah, November 12th.
Yeah.
Wow.
November 14th, I got in.
Oh yeah, you got in super early.
I got in super early because
you're like the first person.
Yeah, because I got into Dal that morning.
Oh.
And then I got into Hawaii that afternoon. It was crazy. It was like my 2 dream schools.
Well, that must have been a great day.
It was a wonderful day.
Wait, and your brother
and it was my brother and sister's birthday. So I kept it a secret.
Oh, really? You didn't tell her?
I didn't tell anyone.
You didn't want to take away their birthday glory.
Jana was the only... Jana and Mr. Presta both knew.
Okay.
And Mrs. Coulterman. Okay. They were the only ones who knew. So I kept it a secret from everyone for like a day. And then that Friday, I told my parents that I got into Dal, I got into Hawaii. And then that Friday afternoon, they emailed me and told me that I won a scholarship.
Like,
and
the Hawaii one.
The Hawaii people told me that I won a scholarship. And like it was like a really big scholarship. So it effectively made going to Hawaii
the number one choice.
It just came. It kind of like fell into my lap.
Wow.
Anyway, so then I decided on Hawaii in like January, and then after some intense thinking, then applied to honors. I got into honors recently, actually a couple weeks ago.
What is honors? Sorry.
Honors is like a research program. So like my first 2 years will still be the same as an undergrad doing marine bio. But then my last 2 years, I'll also be the lead researcher on a research program of my choice.
Researcher. Wow.
Yeah, with like funding, and so I get to do my own research project. It's to prepare me for postgrad or like graduate and postgrad studies.
Wow, that's so sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you actually planned it out since grade 6 to grade 8.
Yeah, I've had my life planned out for a while.
What the heck?
I now have my life planned out until after I get my PhD.
Jeez. I'm looking go with the flow. In grade 6 and 8, I was playing video games, mucking around, and then I didn't know what I wanted to do. I always wanted to do like economics.
Yeah.
That was my number one because I had a really good teacher back in New Zealand.
Okay.
Yeah, she really made me want to do economics. But then I came here and then I just like I didn't pay attention at all in like the business
Right.
classes because it was just Excel sheets and stuff, and I got
Right,
kind of bored of it. So then I was like, oh, screw economics, I don't want to do that. And then I only decided on engineering after Mr. Coulterman's physics class.
Really?
Like he was like the inspiration of me to do physics
Really?
and engineering. So that's what actually made me consider engineering. Back in grade 11, I actually did like a uni plan thing with like an online person.
Yeah.
And he saw my grades and everything. He's like, did you ever consider engineering? And then like, I was like, no. He's like, you should think about it. I was like, no, thank you. I don't think I did like physics yet. It was before, it was like grade 10 marks. And he was just looking at all like the computer science and economic choices.
Yeah.
But yeah, you had marine biology already planned.
All the way from when I was little.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was it like your enthusiasm, or did your parents ever guide you a little bit to that direction?
No, I got really lucky. My parents have been a whole lot of like, do whatever you want as long as you're going to get a good career and as long as you're doing your best. It was always, did you try your best? Okay, then we're fine with it.
Okay.
So a lot of my like pressure for grades comes from myself.
Right.
As opposed to
I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah,
That's a good thing.
I'm very self-motivated.
Yeah, you want to be fueled by yourself.
Yeah. It was actually Shark Week that started my passion for marine biology.
Sorry, what?
Shark Week. It's
Shark
like a
Week?
program that National Geographic runs, and they just run like a bunch of shows about sharks with a bunch of marine biologists for like a week in July. Favorite time of the year.
And it's like on the TV or something?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a TV program, yeah.
Huh. I remember watching a lot of BBC as a kid. I watched a lot of stuff like that. David Attenborough, he's like the hero of
Love
everybody.
David Attenborough.
Yeah, and his shark videos. I really like his like Galapagos Island trilogy or something like that. That was really cool.
Yeah. He's like 98 now.
Yeah, I know, which is, and then I just saw like a reel the other day. He was talking about the most important thing in life is the ocean.
It's the ocean, exactly. Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's perfect for the podcast. So as a kid, did you go to like a lot of aquariums and stuff?
Kind of. Yeah. We did Ripley's a couple times.
I've never been to Ripley's yet.
It's such a good aquarium. It is such a good aquarium. Because then when I grew up and like started being able to like, or my family would travel because we had like the twins also. So they had like 3 young kids when I was.
Oh, you have a twin sister?
My brother and sister, they're twins.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
Anyway, so my parents had 3 young kids, so we weren't traveling a whole lot. But since then, I will say Ripley's is the best aquarium that I have ever been to. And I've been to the one in Cleveland. I've been to the one in Boston. I've been to the one in Quebec. There's a lot more.
I've been to the one in Quebec as well.
It sucks.
The Quebec one, I kind of liked it.
Compared to Ripley's,
I've never been to Ripley's.
Exactly. You gotta go to Ripley's.
I thought Quebec was good.
Then you'll think Ripley's was amazing.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I also went to like the Vancouver one, maybe? No, I don't think so. Oh, I think so. The Vancouver was pretty good.
I've heard Vancouver's good.
But my parents said nothing would ever top the Chinese one I went to as a kid.
Yeah.
Because I went to like the world's biggest zoo and stuff. But I was so small, I don't remember.
You don't remember,
which was sad.
Yeah. You'll love Ripley's if you thought Quebec was good.
I don't know. I always thought, I don't really remember. I think my memory is kind of like all messed around.
Yeah.
I love like going to the aquarium to see that one fish, which is like it pokes from the sand. You know that one?
Oh, yes.
Comes down.
Yes. I don't think Ripley's actually has any of them.
Oh, no?
No, I don't think so. I don't know what their names are.
There's also
Quebec
another.
does.
Connect this?
Quebec does.
Quebec does?
Yeah.
Do you know also the other one that's really fun is like the tropical fish that shoots bugs to eat it?
Yes.
Yeah.
The spinning fish.
Oh, actually, no, wait. I had one memory when I went to an aquarium back in China. There was a touch pool, and then there was a stingray pool next to the touch pool. So I was touching all the stingrays.
Yes.
But you're not meant to do that.
Oh.
And then the person was like, thank God you didn't touch the tail, otherwise you would have got stung really badly. That was bad design. I don't know why.
Yeah, no. Ripley's has a stingray touch tank with a bunch of stingrays that lost their barbs.
Oh, okay. Those stingrays had their barbs.
Yes.
I was trying to touch them. I don't think I was meant
not
to do
a good
that.
plan.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, so you got on the field of going into marine biology.
Yeah.
But now your specification is sharks. So like when did that come about? Was it Shark Week as well?
Week, yeah.
So when was that? Grade 8 as well? Like
grade 6-ish.
Grade 6-ish?
Yeah. Well, grade 6, I had known that I wanted to become a marine biologist. When we got into like grade 7 and 8, I was writing speeches. And so my speech, I did it on marine biology. And at that point I had looked into sharks more. So yeah, it was like grade 8-ish. I've always known what I wanted to do.
Wow, that's kind of a lot of people. They say
Struggle
they
with
want to
it.
do it in grade
Yeah.
8, right? But when they get to high school, they realize they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I feel like you're like the only person that has like locked
Stuck
it
with
in
it.
since grade 8.
Yeah.
You really
Yeah.
are. Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I've fully stuck with it.
Have you met like a marine biologist in person or anything?
I have, because I went to tour Dalhousie in grade 10.
Oh, right.
And I met with the director of their the program that I wanted to get into, and she was a marine biologist. So I've met them, and like my family friend, who's really more like an uncle, owns the dive academy in Oakville. So like I'm a certified scuba diver. So he's a certified scuba diver.
Oh.
So through him, I've met a bunch of.
Oh, right. Yeah, you'll meet a bunch of the other people in this field.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
So.
Do they always like have some sort of like positive vibe? I guess. Like,
Yeah, it's very like laid back, non-stressful people. They
Yeah.
don't seem stressed out.
Seems like
Like
it.
you look at engineers and they all look like so stressed.
Yeah, the hair is falling out.
Exactly.
They look shell-shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, God.
And then you look at marine biologists and they're just like living their best life on the boat somewhere.
Right. Yeah, I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Yeah. So
Was there anything like surprising that they ever said to you, in, like the
Like,
marine
the people
biologist
who
that
I've
you
met?
didn't expect?
I really only met like one, but she said, and we mainly talked about the program, but she said stick with it, and it's a good plan, like long term.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Once you get in, like first 2 years, sorry to cut you off.
It's okay.
But first 2 years, like what type of things do you really learn and do? Like at the
First-
labs and stuff like
So like
that?
for the first year.
Yeah.
So first year is kind of like a general thing, similarly to all universities, but
Oh, it's a general thing.
well, kind of. I mean,
Like
it
general
is
in what
specified.
sense?
It is specified eventually when you get on, like
Right.
with your studies. But like first year undergrad at any university is just like to give you.
Oh, that's in the US. It's like that, right?
Yeah, it's
You're
like
right,
that in the
you're right.
US,
Yeah,
and
like that
it's
in
also
US.
like that here, where it gives you like a baseline, so everyone's on the level playing field. So I'm taking bio, and then a really interesting thing that they did was the bio is worth 4 credits, but it's split into 2 classes. So I have to take like general bio, and then I have to take a bio lab that goes with general bio.
Bio labs, sorry?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a class that's just labs, but you can't take that class unless you're in the bio class.
Oh, okay. So it's like a combo
So
course.
yeah, so I'm doing bio, chem lab, or bio lab. I have to take an oceans course.
Oh,
So-
oceans course.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Yeah,
Is just bio? Is that gonna just be like everything like human anatomy is
Yeah.
on there? and
it's
stuff
general
like that?
bio, and then it like specifies as you go through like the program. So like second year will be more specific. Third year it's like ocean biology, like of marine animals, and then you do like microbiology, things like that.
What is? Oh, okay. So like, when do you like specifically like specify into sharks, or is that more like yourself you do it, not like
That's
a
gonna
course?
be in graduate studies.
Oh,
So
okay.
like my research project, because I'm doing honors, will probably be something related to sharks. Or my master's thesis probably related to sharks, and then
Right, that makes
continuing
sense.
in the pathway of sharks.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Have you ever had any point of this like path that you thought, wait, I love stingrays more than sharks?
No.
Or no?
No.
So you're saying
No, I've always loved sharks. No,
Yeah?
I have thought about doing like turtles, but then turtles are kind of boring.
All right.
So,
Okay.
like they're
Yeah, sharks are cooler.
Sharks are
Sharks
yeah.
are cooler.
And I mean, sharks are so misunderstood. So
Right. Yeah. That is true.
yeah.
Turtles is like they lay eggs and they waddle back.
Okay, yeah.
It's like whatever, right?
Yeah.
And they grow big.
I mean, I'm
Nothing
no
really
expert on turtles, but yeah, that's pretty much what they do.
Yeah.
So-
I have my tragic turtle stories. I don't know if you've heard.
I have not
Maybe
heard
that's
the
off
tragic-
camera. I don't want to.
Turtle story,
It's
okay.
really tragic. I'll say it later. So, oh yeah, this is the stuff I asked you previous already. So, like,
Yeah.
once you get into your program and you become like a shark researcher, I guess, what are like the things you want to do, like
For
yeah.
like shark conservation.
Yeah, exactly. Like what project?
Yeah, so I want to work in shark conservation. I talked to you about the EMF, the electromagnetic fields, and using that to deter sharks from
If you want to
humans.
just like talk about it,
Sure.
because I'm sure a lot of people don't. Like,
Yeah, a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
So sharks have these specialized organs called the ampullae and Lorenzini. They're like jelly-filled pores on their snouts. All sharks have them. It's how they detect their food. It's like struggling fish in the water, moving around, muscle contractions, give off electromagnetic fields. So the shark is able to hone in on that and then go and find the struggling fish, and it's an easy meal. And they also use it for like navigation and stuff. But if their sensors get overloaded, they become uncomfortable and they go away. It's similar to, it happens in cockroaches too.
Cockroaches?
Yeah, they also have it because cockroaches use the electromagnetic fields to like navigate.
Oh, really?
So if you want to make like a cockroach like deterrent, you can use electromagnetic fields. Of different strengths.
Is it like a little magnet you place?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm moving my mic. So yeah, they use magnets and coils, copper wire coils that, like Mr. Coulterman showed us in physics, grade 11.
So you're thinking about using that to deter sharks?
Yeah, I had like researched it and like kind of designed it when I was like in grade 7.
Oh,
but I didn't have the physics knowledge. So I mean, if I had time, I could do it again. Yeah, just a magnet. If I had time, I could try and do it again. I almost electrocuted myself, actually.
Wow.
Yeah. If I had a magnet, I could do it again. But now that I have like knowledge of physics, kind of. So yeah, but effectively the whole idea is you make this shark net, but it's not actually a net. It's just a bunch of the
magnets along the coastline, so the sharks don't go near the coastline where people are.
Overwhelm their senses, and they'll just turn around.
Right. Oh.
Yeah.
And like there isn't much research done on this right now.
There isn't. Yeah.
There isn't.
There kind of is. Like people have thought of it because it's an obvious answer to it.
Right. Yeah. It seems so obvious. Like,
it is.
No one jumped to it yet.
People have thought about it. People in South America were piloting it and like it's in like the testing stage.
Oh right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. I did some research previous to this in the morning, and I actually found this online shop that sells shark deterrent bands.
Really?
It uses the exact
I've heard of this. Yeah. Because they put it on. They put it on surfboards.
Right.
So there was actually a Shark Week show about it, and they had taken like these big electromagnetic like coils and put them on the bottom of surfboards.
Right.
Because most of the people who are attacked are surfers for other reasons.
Did it work out?
It did. It did, but not all of the time.
Data shows.
Right.
Like over the percentage got lower, right?
Yeah.
Like, of sharks getting close. Huh.
Yeah. So it was interesting.
Huh. Is that like also how every shark works? Every type of shark
every shark has them.
So it'll work for every shark.
It would work. Yeah, it would work for every. It would be like a universal solution. The only problem is they interfere with pacemakers.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, because pacemakers run on electromagnetic fields,
exactly. That makes sense.
And they're magnets. So if someone with a pacemaker happened to get in the field, then the pacemaker would stop working.
They're cooked.
Yeah, they would.
What the heck? Oh, so that's like.
That's part of the reason why it's not.
Right. So how would you get around that?
I mean, you could put you could make the barrier out further and then put like stop here's
for people with pacemakers?
like a buffer zone.
A lot of like signs.
A lot of buffer, yes.
A lot of signs to make sure
exactly.
They know.
This is part of the reason why it's not.
I do know one person with a pacemaker. Actually.
Really?
He's like a family friend of like nice. And was doing like the Waterloo, like the CS plus the economics.
Oh wow!
Which isn't a very pacemaker friendly
no, it's not.
Right, but yeah, so like the highest stress one. I think one of them. Yeah. But so
it's like one of those top programs.
Yeah, I
together.
Guess I guess that is a problem.
Yes.
For the pacemakers.
Yeah.
That's weird. What about like other things apart from the EMF
that have worked for shark deterrence?
Yeah.
Well, right now, common practice is to put nets. Which I mean, we talked about how it makes sense. It does stop the sharks, but it also kills turtles, fish, dolphins, sharks,
it's just
stingrays.
It's such a Minecrafty solution.
Exactly.
Like put a barrier.
Yeah. So there's that. Some other things that I don't know if there are like any other like specific shark deterrents. I do know like strategies that you can use not to get like attracted to the sharks, like the shark's attracted to you.
Oh.
So like. Not spearfishing, because spearfishing attracts the sharks.
Why?
Because when you spear the fish, the sound of the gun going off has been, like the sharks have been conditioned psychologically to associate the sound of the spear gun going off and the electromagnetic forces that it lets out with a free meal because the fish is like dead, so they just go and steal it from the fishermen. Anyway, spearfishers are like one of the top demographics to get attacked.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah.
I was gonna think about one thing, right? this might be a genius solution. I don't know if it's. So basically, back in New Zealand, I was blueberry picking, and then I got really scared because they had these big sirens up that just played hawk sounds every day to scare away all the birds that come and eat the blueberries.
Yeah.
Like, could there be any type of sound that like deters the sharks from coastlines?
Possibly.
Using like underwater, it doesn't really, the sound doesn't really like flow around much, right?
Actually, sound travels faster underwater.
Okay, I'm
Sorry.
Mr. Goldman. But yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
So what about that? Yeah.
The whole science behind like the hawk scaring away the
because they know it's a predator.
It's the predator.
Like, what's a shark's predator? Right.
Don't really have any predators. They have orcas. So I mean, you could play orca sounds. I don't know how well it would work. I don't know if it's been tested, but it's a possible solution.
Or I just thought of something. What if you put a lot of spearfishing sounds away from the coastline and they go there?
I mean, it would work. It would work. Yeah. Theoretically.
Maybe it works.
In theory, yeah.
Huh.
So.
Is there a lot of shark attacks like in Canada?
Not that I know. Actually, more people get killed by toilets than sharks every year. And also more people get killed by coconuts.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So, but in terms of Canada, we have a lot of actually great white sharks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's like they live in
kind of.
like cold water.
They live in open ocean.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they go all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Really? Huh.
But because of climate change, their migration pathways have moved up further north. But so there are a lot of great white sharks in like Nova Scotia area. And like the East Coast. So there are shark attacks inevitably, but there's not like a comparable amount to like the US. Like the US is like
the US is so much.
So
like Florida?
But they're
like
also
like
more publicized.
Because, really? Because it's allowed to be publicized?
Well, not because it's necessarily allowed, but because they're more they're more the culture surrounding sharks in the States is very different than it is in other places because they have so many coastal cities. Oh. Right.
How would you say it's different? Do they like shark attacks more?
No, they don't like sharks. Okay. They try and like vilify the sharks more than I think Canada does.
No, I meant like as in like they like to put it on news and to draw attention. Is what I mean.
Yeah, they draw attention to it.
Right.
More so than it needs to be.
Right.
A lot of cases, shark attacks are just mistaken identity.
Yeah.
Because we look like seals. Well, we do when we're floating or like surfing. That's why.
You're bobbing up and down.
Yeah, you look like a seal. And then people freak out when they see sharks and like swim away, and then that kicks in the predatory instinct.
Yeah, and they start chasing you.
Yeah, and then they think that you're food, and it's just the whole thing. Anyway, yeah. If you stay still, if a shark bites you, you'll probably get released and they'll go away.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like in that moment I'll be too scared to do that.
If you think about it, shark teeth are like pointy. Well, they're pointy, but like they grab onto you and then you pull your arm. You're the one ripping your arm to shreds. The shark isn't. It'll just let go and swim away.
I see what you mean. I mean, hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So, like in terms of your experience with the ocean and stuff, if you vibe with this combo, drop a like, leave a comment, and hit that sub button. We'll catch you next time on Different Walks, Different Talks.